AS Level Biology 9700, Paper 2, Variant 2, October November 2025. And in this video, we are going to discuss question number 6. And question number 6 starts as in the pulmonary circulation of a mammal, deoxygenated blood becomes oxygenated when red blood cells pass through alveolar capillaries and hemoglobin within the cells combines with oxygen. The blood returns to the heart to be pumped around the systemic circulation. Describe the sequence of events occurring in the heart that allows blood returning in the pulmonary circulation to then enter the systemic circulation. You should include in your description in the names of the relevant blood vessels of the pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation that are connected to the heart. Reference the to blood pressure changes cause the opening and closing of valves. Now, in this question, we have to discuss the sequence of events, that is pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. So, pulmonary circulation is between heart and the lungs, and systemic circulation is between heart and the body. So, we are going to we have to write about for 5 marks. So in this question, uh, we will discuss the name of the blood vessels. So first of all, I would like to talk about pulmonary vein, which is oxygenated blood returns from the lungs and enter the left atrium via the pulmonary vein. You know that the blood which is coming back from the body, which is deoxygenated blood, so it enters only into the right atrium. From right atrium, it enters into the right ventricle, and from right ventricle, it enters into the lungs via pulmonary artery. Then, after oxygenation from the lungs, the blood is entered, which is now the blood is oxygenated blood. So it returns from the lungs and enters the left atrium. So via the pulmonary vein. Now what happens as the left atrium fills, the pressure within it begins to rise. Then the pressure in the left atrium becomes higher than the pressure in the left ventricle. The bicuspid wall is forced open. The left atrium contracts, forcing the remaining blood into the left ventricle, and then the left ventricle contracts, causing a rapid increase in ventricular pressure. As ventricular pressure exceeds arterial pressure, the bicuspid wall closes to prevent back flow of the blood. So this is the first love sound of the heart. So when the pressure in the left ventricle rises above the pressure in the aorta, the aortic semilunar wall is forced open. So blood is ejected under high pressure into the aorta, where it is then distributed to the rest of the body. So in this way, the sequence of the blood circulation takes place. So now I would like to write all this which I have described to you. That is, I will start from the the oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood returns from the lungs and enters into left atrium via pulmonary vein. When the left atrium fills, the pressure becomes high. Then the pressure in the left ventricle. Due to which the bicuspid wall opens. The left atrium contracts, forcing the blood into left ventricle, into the left ventricle. Now the systemic circulation will start. So the left ventricle contracts, causing a rapid increase in ventricular pressure. Due to which bicuspid wall closes, to avoid backward flow. Now semilunar or aortic semilunar wall in the aorta opens, blood is ejected under high pressure into the aorta to to the to distribute to the rest of the body. So in this way, the systemic circulation is completed when the blood is moved out of the heart. Now the next question is, figure 6.1 is a drawing of the hemoglobin molecule to show its globular structure. So describe the quaternary structure of a hemoglobin molecule. Quaternary structure of the hemoglobin molecule. So we have to discuss about this. That is, uh, hemoglobin actually consists of four polypeptide chains. So two of them are alpha chains, so two of them are beta chains. So each polypeptide chain is associated with a heme group which contains an iron. So these subunits are held together by various bonds as hydrophobic interactions, hydrogen bonds to form a complex three-dimensional globular protein. So this question is of 2 marks, so we have to write accordingly. So first of all, I would like to write the answer. Hemoglobin consists of four polypeptide chains, two alpha chains and two beta chains. These are and each polypeptide chain has a heme group which contains iron. These chains are held together held together by various bonds to form complex three-dimensional globular protein or the shape. So the different hydrogen bonds which are formed uh, between these chains are this is for your information, hydrophobic interactions, hydrogen bonds, and ionic bonds. And the amino acid joined together with peptide bonds. You know very well about this. Now the last part of this question is outline how a hemoglobin molecule become fully saturated with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. Well, this is very simple question in which we have to uh, show the what is saturation, which involves cooperative binding and specific capacity. So here I would like to say that the question is again of 2 marks. So one hemoglobin molecule can bind with a maximum four oxygen molecules because it consists of four polypeptide chains. So four heme groups are attached with four chains, that is one with one chain. So the binding of the first oxygen molecule causes a conformational change of the hemoglobin molecule. So this makes it easier for subsequent oxygen molecules to bind to the remaining heme groups. So this occurs in regions of high partial pressure of oxygen, such as the lungs, where oxygen associates with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin. So in this way, the hemoglobin molecule can become fully saturated with oxygen. So let me write the answer right now. One hemoglobin molecule can bind with a maximum of 4 oxygen molecules, as it has 4 chains. With each of 4 heme groups. The binding of first oxygen molecule causes a conformational change causes a conformational change this make it easier for remaining oxygen molecules to bind to other heme groups. It occurs in the lungs, where oxygen oxygen associates with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin. So it was all about question number 6, and it was the last video on this paper. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel for watching more videos on the other papers. Thanks for watching.